Alright, so hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a look that I felt was fit for Thanksgiving. So without any further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it and get started. So first things first, I'm using my e.l.f. Mineral Primer, and I'm actually was really surprised with this. It reminds me a lot of the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer and even one of the Cover FX mattifying ones. So of course I'm just taking this and applying it all over my face, anywhere that I have any fine lines, wrinkles, or any place that I want smooth. And then right after that I'm going in with my L'Oreal my L'Oreal Pro Glow and Pro Matte, and I'm mixing two shades to kind of create a shade that's okay for me. I felt like it was a little bit too light, but of course I'm just going to go in with my Real Technique sponge and blend it all out, and the coverage of these two foundations were actually so amazing. I was super surprised, and I do have a little bit of a tan on, so But now I'm going in with one of my LA Girl color correctors. So first I'm using it and I was super impressed, and I'm just taking it on my inner corners where I do have a little bit of darkness, just a tiny bit. But of course I'm going back with my Real Technique sponge just to blend it all out. And this concealer blends so amazing, it's wonderful. And now I'm going in with my other LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Porcelain, and of course I'm taking that underneath both of my eyes to really highlight and brighten everything up. I do have a little bit of self tanner on, so my foundation kind of doesn't match. It's a little too light, and this concealer seems a little too bright and light, but it ended up looking pretty good. So of course I'm blending that out with my Real Technique sponge. And I'm going to take it on my eyelids too, just so I can prime them and get them ready for, eyeshadow next. But after everything is blended out, the concealer looks pretty good, which I was super happy about. Now I'm taking my Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade Translucent, and I'm just going to set underneath my eyes where I did highlight a little bit, and I love this powder. It's a great price too. And now I'm just going to be setting my brows with some clear mascara from Maybelline. This stuff is pretty bomb and a great dupe for the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. Just an FYI. Alright, and now I'm taking my Morphe 35L, and I'm going to be taking that kind of light brown shade right there, and I'm going to be blending that right into my crease. This is going to be our first shade, our transition one, and this one is just a couple of shades darker than my skin tone, hence why it's going to be one of our transition shades. And I'm just going to really make sure that I'm blending it in completely, and I'm going to kind of build up the intensity to, you know, something that I desire, because we are going to go in with some other shades, and I want to make sure that this is noticeable but not too noticeable. And of course I'm doing the same thing to the other eye with building it up as much as I want. And I find that actually looking like kind of tilting my head down while doing my eyeshadow makes it a lot easier for me, since I do have hooded eyes. Alright, now taking this other kind of brownie orange shade, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the same brush, and we are just going to go ahead and blend that starting at our outer kind of crease and outer corner part, and slightly bringing that in. We're going to do the same thing with blending it out and about, just to make sure everything is seamless, but I want to make sure that it is noticeable, so you will see me kind of go back and take a little bit more each time. And for this one, I decided to grab like a tapered crease brush, just so I can make sure I'm getting right into my crease. Once again, I do have hooded eyes, so it is a little bit harder for me to create eyeshadow looks, since I don't have a whole lot to work with. And of course I'm doing the same thing with kind of tilting my head down and making sure that I blend right in the place where I want the shadow to be. I don't want to take it up too high or else it'll look too weird, but I want to make sure that it kind of stays as close to the crease, you know, as possible. And of course I will go ahead and blend a little bit onto my outer lid part and just make sure it all looks good. And now I'm just taking this really nice orangey brown kind of reminds me of Makeup Geek's Cocoa Bear just a little bit, and I'm really lightly going to be going in with that and focusing it right on my outer kind of corner of my eye, and then slowly taking it into the crease. and you'll see me going back and forth, kind of making sure I blend everything out. And this one I'm going to spend a lot of time on blending because this was a harsher kind of color, but you will see me once again go back and try to build up the intensity as, you know, as much as I want to, because I did want this to be noticeable without it being, you know, too sloppy or kind of too out there. But I will take some time to make sure it's all blended out, so be patient with this. Eyeshadow is a process and it does take a little while to do. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and get onto the lid color. I'm going to be taking a mix of 2 shades, and I'm actually taking that bottom right hand corner one first, and that one's pretty much going to be the only shade that I use. And I'm going to be taking my fingers just to kind of pack it on. And these Morphe shadows are always so intensely pigmented that you really don't need a whole lot, and you will notice that you do get a lot of color payoff in the end. So you will see me, now I'm taking this is actually a smudge brush, but I'm just taking that to pack it right onto my lids just to make sure I get it, you know, in the places where I want it to, so it won't kind of transfer up onto my like upper eye, which I hate when that happens, you know, hooded eye problems for sure. Alright, so totally out of the random, I guess some clips got cut out or something. I am starting to do my winged eyeliner. You guys will see a little bit of it. But of course you guys know the drill. I will end up not filming the other eye and not filming me put on lashes, but wing liner is always a struggle for me. I'm using the Tarte's one today, but it's always some sort of a struggle, but it ended up going pretty decent today, I must say. It was okay. Alright, and now I'm just going to go ahead and get started on my lower lash line. I'm taking pretty much all the same colors that I used in my crease to kind of smoke out my lower lash line a little bit. I'm taking those really nice warm oranges and just running them back and forth on my lash line, not being too precise or too neat or anything, because it honestly doesn't matter too much to me, at least because I want to make sure it's nice and smoky. And I will of course try to blend it out so it just doesn't look like a splotch or anything. Alright, and for this one I'm going in with my smudge brush again, and I'm just using a dark brown shade closest to my lash line just so I can really define it. Alright, and now it's time to kind of bronze and slightly contour. I'm taking my favorite contouring product at the moment right now. It's one of the NYX refill pans in their contour kit, and I'm just going to go ahead and warm up my face. You guys know the drill. I always like to warm up my temples, or of course the temples, my forehead, and then I'm going to go in to kind of my what's it called? I don't know, I can't think of it. The hollows of my cheek, there we go. And of course kind of sloppily contour. And if you guys don't know, this is my favorite blush palette at the moment. It's by e.l.f. and I'm just going to go ahead and mix 2 colors and then just pop them right on my cheek. It is such a beautiful color combination. You guys really need this in your life. It's only like $4 or $6 at Target, I do believe. Alright, so I'm also using another e.l.f. product. This is their baked highlighter and bronzer duo. I'm using the highlighter part, and this was actually pretty impressive because it did have a nice glow to it. It wasn't anything too intense. It was more on the natural side, but it was super beautiful, and of course it was really buildable. After a little while I did go in with like 2 or 3 layers to kind of get it to what I want. But you guys won't see the like true effect till kind of later down in my video, but this was actually pretty good like quality. I was surprised for sure. And now I'm taking a little bit of that highlighter shade that we just used to highlight my inner corner of the eyes. I did want a little bit of brightness back in there. This worked out perfectly. It was so beautiful. I love a nice inner corner highlight, and it really brings, you know, the light back into the eye. So it's a must for me in any kind of look. Alright, so while you can see we're trying out a lot of e.l.f. products today, this is one of their matte like lip crayons in the shade Wine, and as you guys can see, this is almost turned out like a hot pink, which I did not like at all. I mean, probably better colors, but I ended up taking this right off. Like, I could not stand it. It was just too bright and not what I was looking for the look. So I did find another Lippie, and I'm going with one of the Colourpop, what's it called, matte Lippie sticks in the shade Tutu, I do believe. And This is like a nice kind of dark red. This is it's supposed to be matte, but it's more like a soft matte. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply this all over to my lips. These are super amazing, super affordable, great price for them, and they wear for such a long time, and I love this shade. This is from the holiday collection, and once again, the name is Tutu. Alright everyone, this completes the look. I think that this makeup look is perfect for Thanksgiving. It gives you a nice, bold lip and a really cool eye look. But if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more from me. But until then, I hope you guys have a lovely Thanksgiving, and in the comments, let me know what you're thankful for, and let me know what you're most excited to eat on Thanksgiving Day. I know I'm super excited for mashed potatoes and macaroni. Alright, bye guys. I'll see you in the next video.